Hello, and welcome to Single Ladies with No Babies. My name is Leda. I'm a 33-year-old woman, and I don't have any babies, I don't have a partner, and I have no plans for any of those things to be changing anytime soon. So, I've created this podcast, which is very inspired by my own experiences and those of my friends, and just what's going on in the world currently, to create a space where we can empower ourselves as women and explore how we can have extremely fulfilling lives that fall outside of being hitched with a guy and having kids. Yeah. I strongly, increasingly feel that is a choice. It's a beautiful choice, but it is a choice. But that we are kind of subtly pressured to feel that it isn't, in ways that are like, oh, you might regret that. The clock is ticking, that biological clock. And yes, you can be aware of all of those things, just like you're aware of what it is to go through puberty and now have a period and stuff like that. And, it's just another stage in life where you can do those things, but it's a choice. Even if it's been done in very subtle ways, to make someone feel like it's not a choice, it's fucked up. Yeah. So, I've created this podcast to create a space where we can share stories and be inspired by each other, and hopefully people who might want to come and join me on this podcast who are doing incredible things which are not surrounded by or primarily driven by the fact that they have kids and they have a man, Women who are showing that you can live a very healthy and a very fulfilling life which is not based around the fact that, and there's a man and I have children. I've been particularly inspired by stuff that's going on in the world, the rise of the trad wives. And I just think we need a little bit of balance. Yeah. I had quite a complicated upbringing. And part of that was witnessing lots of families within my family make the choice of becoming a parent when they were not ready and when they didn't really want it. And I think that's partly why I've grown up and just naturally never desired a wedding or fantasized about what my dress would look like or really chased, apart from, since turning 30, or really chased needing to be in a relationship. If the guy was not absolutely fantastic, I felt like, well, why would I stay with him? I can get up and leave and travel whenever I want, and I don't have to sort of inform anyone about that. I'm not having to stay at home and juggle the responsibility of whatever it is that is expected of you as a wife or as a mother. I have a lot of freedom. And the thing that's frustrated me the most in hindsight is that even though I've had all of those things, at the same time I've felt this inner kind of shame that I'm not doing what all the other women are doing. Like maybe I'm a bit weird or odd or something's wrong with me. And I don't think anyone should be made to feel that way. No one. Especially if you've made the mature decision to not have a child and not hook up with someone that actually you don't like that much. When actually you don't really want to do that thing. When you're chasing stuff which is more to do with what other people think of you than what you think of you. So I should probably also say that I'm quite a spiritual, woo-woo-y kind of person, and I embrace that, yeah. I've spent a lot of time meditating. I've done all kinds of interesting journeys, from ayahuasca to, spending time in India, meditating. And so I've spent a long time healing and discovering myself. And I have found the more I've explored those things, the more I've come back to, oh God, the stuff that society is trying to tell me to do. And it might be different from person to person, but the main pressure I often felt like I was battling within myself, the internal conflict, was really around what other people were expecting of me versus what I truly wanted. So I'm sure in this podcast, as much as it's just episode 1 and I am exploring this, I'm sure that there will be episodes to do with how to live a lifestyle which is really in connection with who you truly are, and not about following whatever pressures family, religion or society are putting upon you. And as a woman, we get those pressures almost from every angle. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I'll include much spiritual woo-woo-y stuff, but I do like it, and if you guys like it too, let me know, and maybe we'll do a meditation at the end of every podcast. I don't know, we'll just see how it goes. But I've found so much more purpose and fulfillment in things that are of a spiritual nature, and in figuring out who I am, as opposed to figuring out how to get a man. Yeah. So, I hope you'll join me as I go on this journey. Hopefully we'll have lots of interesting, fascinating and empowering conversations, and hopefully you'll be a part of them too. So, I look forward to seeing you in another episode soon.